So one bit that I forgot to film, forgive me here, is personal hygiene items. So let me go through this real quick. As I'm sure you can see, I've got 4 rolls of toilet paper. Once again, I'm looking at walking back for 4 or 5 days. Do the math in your head, I'll let you guys figure that one out. Okay, so we've got a little bit of sunblock here. Should I carry more? Yeah, probably, but I also have a UPF rated sun shirt that always stays with me in the van. I don't get along with the heat, so that's gonna go ahead and take care of my sun exposure issues. We've got a little bit of hand sanitizer, and then there's also a little bit of, shampoo and whatnot there. Not a huge deal. The hand sanitizer, I think, probably should be in everyone's first aid kit. If you guys get your hand in icky stuff, you never know. The toilet tissue, everybody forgets about this stuff. Go down to Walmart, I think it's like $1 each. Go ahead and pick one of those up, or 1 or 2 of them, whatever works for you guys. So this is specifically for my issues here. I've got a couple of these chamois. I use them backpacking. Once again, these are awesome. You can use them as hand towels, or you can use them as just straight up towels. There's just 1,001 uses for these. Average person, do you need that? Probably not. But for my situation, we're gonna use it. So the last couple things here, deodorant, that's kind of a personal comfort thing, but if I pass by people, let's be real, I'm gonna be spilling pretty ripe, and no one wants to deal with that. This here, a little bit of bug repellent, probably not an issue for most people out in the bay. Your bug problems aren't that bad. Out here in the valley, we got some issues out in farm country. Last, got some random garbage bags. That's just kind of for any, well, there's 1,001 uses for that. We're not gonna go into it. So there you go. Hey guys, so real quick, we said we're gonna go talk about a first aid kit. Let's do that as quickly as I can here. Let's try and keep that under about 5 minutes. So, bleeding events, that's what all this section here is for, okay? Big Band-Aids, little Band-Aids, need I say more? Okay, rolled gauze and gauze patches. That will take care of most of your major bleeding events. I mean, not major, but mild to moderate. This here is Quick Clot. This is an awesome coagulant powder. Basically, you pour that on a bleeding wound and it'll stop the bleeding within just a couple of seconds. Works great. Military has been using it for years. I've had experiences with it, and just trust me, it just works. I'm not sure I'd say I trust my life to it, but not far off. Little bit of surgical tape just to secure a bandage that you might create with all this stuff. We've got antibiotic ointment, and then we also have alcohol prep pads. Anybody who knows the least bit about basic first aid understand why that's important. Just remember, the antibiotic and the alcohol pads, they do go bad after a while. Check it probably every year or so. So let's talk about medication. What do I have? The not so fun one. Laxative, yeah, I know it's disgusting. But if I'm walking 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 miles home and stuff's not moving, we need to fix that. Otherwise, I'm not moving much further. We're not gonna go any further than that. Okay, so I've got a little bit of caffeine tablets. You'll notice that in my kit, I do not have coffee, energy drinks, anything like that. No source of caffeine, that's my caffeine. If I need a little bit of kick, something to push me through the night, that's a good way to do it. Here we've got NyQuil, DayQuil kind of stuff. Obviously, if I'm dealing with a cold when all this goes down, if I catch something while I'm walking home, that's not a bad thing. Plus, the NyQuil is a good option to help put you to sleep. If you're kind of stressed out, that's not a bad way to go. It's not what it's meant for, but will it work? Absolutely. Ibuprofen's a great option. I always have some of this stuff with me in all my first aid kits. Broken bones, sprains, strains, muscle pain, joint issues, whatever. This stuff's great. Just make sure you understand whether or not you can take it. If you have kidney issues, I know this is kind of a no-go. Just be careful. This is for body aches. The one that's not here that should be is Tylenol or acetaminophen. You can pick these up for literally $1 a piece at your local Dollar Tree. Acetaminophen is basically for headaches. That's my primary use for it. Understand that if you pair acetaminophen with the caffeine, you've basically made poor man's Excedrin. It'll work. If you have migraines and you don't feel like carrying the Excedrin with you, you want to break it up, might not be a bad way to do it. Vaseline, obviously if I'm walking over the Altamont Pass, anybody who knows that area knows that the winds get crazy out there, and I'm probably going to get chapped lips doing it. This will solve my problem. I'm assuming that I can probably use this if I have to treat issues with maybe sunburn if that happens. That's not going to treat a lot, but it's better than nothing. Tums, I have acid reflux issues. It sucks. These are a must-have. I basically don't leave home without them. The last thing is this stuff. Once again, it's basically dollar store brand and probably quality, but it's basically Bengay. I'm assuming that if I'm walking a long distance, I'm going to have problems with my muscles getting sore as all hell. That's not a bad way to solve my problems. It's going to make my life a little bit easier. Down here, cold compresses, instant ice packs. These are awesome. Once again, they're a dollar store thing. There's just so many uses for it, it's not worth talking about. Use your imagination. If you're prone to heat exhaustion, this is not a bad way to be able to cool yourself down almost immediately. The last couple of things down here. Let's go here. Ace bandages. If during an earthquake you are having some sort of an issue, you sprained, strained, hyperextended something, you can probably use that and potentially a shirt or something like that to go ahead and create yourself a sling or something to immobilize the joint. I have that for multiple reasons that this might be needed. The last thing is moleskin. Those of you guys who are not backpackers don't know the joys of what this is. This is awesome. Give me a second, I'll pull a bit of it out. This stuff is basically felt on one side, and I can't do it because I'm holding the camera with the other hand. It's basically a sticker back on the other side. If you're walking along and you have a problem, you're getting hot spots, blisters, that kind of thing, cut a piece of this off, put it over the hot spot, keep walking. It'll probably solve your problem. I've been backpacking for 12 years. I don't go out without it. And that's what I keep in my emergency kit. Understand that that kit that I just showed you guys is made for one specific task and one specific task only. It's to get me from the San Francisco Bay, where I would likely be working. I'm assuming the earthquake's going to pop off Monday through Friday, somewhere during my more normal work hours, and allow me to walk out to the Central Valley where the rest of my supplies are, out at my house. That's what this kit's for. Your mileage, whatever you guys need, it could be different. Understand where you work, where your home is, what your specific needs are. These are questions that I can't answer for you. You guys are going to have to answer on your own. Keep that in mind. Other things to understand. Understand what you're going to specifically need as far as, hey, if you're a young woman and you're working in an office environment, do you have decent shoes that you can walk in? Can you really walk in whatever you're wearing to the office? If you're a guy, you're really going to walk home in those loafers or whatever dress shoes you might be wearing to the office? Stuff to think about. Do you know how to get home without your GPS? Do you know how to get home without the freeways? That's a lot of people don't know how to do that. So things to think about. What do you have at home? Is your kit at home sufficient? Once again, things you guys should be thinking about. Let me know if there's anything I can do. I understand that there's going to be people that are probably more qualified to talk to you about this. I'm just some guy who's been backpacking, like I said, for about 12 years, give or take. And this is the benefit of my experience that I'm trying to give to you. My experience being in the Sierras a little bit, mostly in the Santa Lucia range, and also down in, the Santa Cruz Mountains, doing Skyline to the Seas, a couple of the trails back in there. So anyway, hope this helped. You guys have a good day.